Well, it's another early start on a bank holiday, and it's a bit gloomy today. You can see there's a bit of a mist and fog in the air. Now, today we're going to be following the course of another river hidden underground in Bristol. We're going to look for the old Cutler's Mill Brook. It starts in Mina Road Park in St Werburgh's, goes through Montpelier, up through Gloucester Road and through Cranbrook Road, so we won't see very much of it above ground, but we're going to be looking for today for evidence of it below ground, all the little bits of infrastructure and where the houses and the footpaths follow the line of the river. And if we look on the map, which we will do in a moment, let's call that up, you can see the river curving its way through and the houses in the city basically forming themselves around it as the city grows. So we're just going to head downhill towards Montpelier. Here we are in Mina Road Park in St Werburgh's, and according to the maps this is the point where the Cutler's Mill Brook would have met the Horfield Brook, which we did in an earlier episode. It just flows down here to meet the Froome, as we know. Now it does appear that there doesn't seem to be any kind of junction of the river, and I'm thinking they've diverted the Cutler's Mill Brook further to the north, underground, so I'll just point where that might be and then we'll go west towards Montpelier from here. As you can see, there's not much left of the old dye factory. There's just a chimney left standing. And I think, as I say, that the river, the stream we're following, is almost directly under our feet in the direction we're going. So let's follow it through the streets. There's the crow, or is it a magpie? And here we're just looking east towards the park, and I think the river will be more or less under our feet here, going west towards Montpelier. Just occurred to me, these concrete pipes are about the same size as an underground river, so there's a good chance they might be rediverting the river when they build the new houses here. I'm pretty sure I can hear the sound of running water out of this manhole cover, which is almost the exact point where the river would have gone under this road here. In the illustrious Albany Road area of St Paul's, you can see these houses are sort of curving around a bit here. And on the map, that does generally follow the direction of the river, which is just around the back of these houses. Some of these houses seem to have been built at different times, and they all seem to have a slightly different character. These old red 3-storey buildings are quite nice actually, and it changes style here. This must all date from about 1880, and around the back of St Barnabas' school. This is where the river would more or less be following. You can see an old street pattern there. There's demolished houses. Now this is all playing fields and cricket areas, which used to be a field once, with the river flowing right the way through it. Going to get this winding little footpath here, which they called Rosa Parks Lane, which is named after somebody famous. Well, here we are in Albany Green, the famous Star and Garter, which has now been redecorated. Another manhole cover which suggests there could be a river under here. And there's the old bakery. I think it's, do we go north, south, east or west? Here we are in Albany Green, just by the side of the old chapel. Looks like an old abandoned house was here. This was someone's fireplace. Now, I think the river flows more or less under our feet here, or just on the other side of that wall. It's a pretty old wall by the look of things. And here's Shaftesbury Avenue. Just going to follow the course of the river. This is really a part of St Paul's you don't often see. You can see some really quite substantial brick houses here with 4 stories in them. Got this whole bricked up window there. That could have been part of a coach house stable, and where they'd load the hay in to feed the horses. Far from the city centre, but back to the old style of cobbled streets and stone walls. Seems like another world really, but a forgotten Bristol. Some of this must date back to sort of 1850 and it hasn't really changed very much. Yeah, Albert Park Place, probably named after, well, Prince Albert, Victoria's husband. Some of these old late Victorian terraced houses still retain their character, some of their features. The streets are almost completely deserted. And here we come to one of these really unusual little alleyways. It doesn't really sort of belong here. More or less at the end of Shaftesbury Avenue, coming up to Wellington Avenue, and this is where the river would have gone, according to the maps, on the back of these houses here. And here's the old jail house from Georgian times. Old cast iron post box dating from the time of King George. Now just following a slight downhill gradient here. You can see the ground is a lot lower here. It would obviously show the natural course of a river. I lived in Bristol all my life and I've already known this bit was here. Walked past this turning so many times, and it's full of these new houses. This old stone wall here would have kept the river company at one point, I think. And the river is flowing more or less under our feet. And this rather fine house with the red door. And this row of houses, I believe, is called Bath Buildings. We're going to find out in a minute why it's called Bath Buildings. Now following another natural dip in the ground, a natural hollow where you would expect water to form into a large pool, which is exactly what it did, and exactly where the Montpelier Health Centre is. There used to be an open door swimming pool, which will show that on the map. And there's the Old England Public House with a picture of W.S. Grace, the cricketer, and a nice beer garden. And lovely old barred iron windows, all rusty and decaying there. And this worn, weathered old brickwork. It's seen a bit of history, I think. And here we are in the grounds of Montpelier Park. What used to be the St Andrew's Church. Just the vicarage remains at the top there. And these pieces of stone here are all that remain of where the church was. It's the old St Andrew's Vicarage. It's a rather attractive stone building, I like it. Somebody's kindly repainted on that building the original purpose. A Montpelier toilet saloon. Obviously a hairdressing shop of some kind. Well, that sign says there's a railway, which means we're on our way to meet our old friend, the Clifton Extension Railway, which we met in our first episode. Just going to take a quick detour up here, across the old footbridge. This wonderful forgotten relic of old Midland Great Western Joint railway days. Remains of an old telegraph pole, still with the wires attached. We're not going this way. I'm going to go back down the steps again, I think. The old blue brick tiles are still in place from the days when the railway was built. They haven't been changed. It's very dark and quiet and damp inside the tunnel today. There's light at the end of the tunnel, as always. There you can see the line curving quite steeply downhill towards the junction with the Great Western Main Line Railway. What a climb. Okay, let's turn around and head towards the Cutlers Mill Brook. Piece of this secluded railway cutting to sort of remind you of the sort of rural nature of the area before the railway came, before it was all built up. There you can see the track curving away on its way to Redland, Clifton, Severn Beach eventually. Here are the remains of the old Midland and Joint Great Western Railway station here. The old blue brick chimney still in place. Just coming into view through the mist, where the Cutlers Brook would have been following down there. This is around the back of the old girls' school. So let's go down there and have a look. And here's another shot around the back of the Colston Girls' School. And that is more or less where the river is flowing through that walkway there under our feet. We now come to another point where the Cutlers Mill Brook has intercepted the roads. And here is what I believe, according to the map, is a pumping station. So at this point the level of the river may have fallen. There's a requirement to have like pumps to lift it up. It could also be part of an interceptor system which diverts floodwater from the main Cutlers Brook. And behind this door you can hear the sound of running water. It's definitely the Cutlers Mill Brook. There's quite a bit of water in it by the sound of things, isn't there? Here we are at Cheltenham Lane, which is off the back of Cheltenham Road. A place you'd never go, it's really a dead end. Let's have a look. But if we look on the map, the Cutlers Mill Brook would have flowed just to the left of us here, right to the north. So this is an old, unexplored lane that we didn't even know was here. Manhole cover here at the end of the lane. There's a good chance this is inspection cover for the river underneath us. Very worn out looking old buildings here. This is the old coach house. And this indicates there may have been some streams flowing downhill from the top of the hill towards the Cutlers Mill Brook. Brookfield Road and Brookfield Lane. Just coming to view in Brookfield Lane, there's another piece of famous infrastructure that's been here a while. It's the old telephone exchange. Still in use, of course. There's aerials and wires and lifting gear. Well, we're just off the Cheltenham Road, but I still keep finding all these little hidden alleyways and cobbled lanes that don't seem to go anywhere. Prospect Place. Even here, nature's trying to survive. The ferns growing out this old drain hole cover. What a fine sandstone faced Victorian villas here, just off Cotton Brow. And here's another little industrial alley, little backwater full of lock-up garages and workshops. Just love this overgrown roof with the old roof tiles and the creepers cascading over it. It's a nice little view here around the back of Cotton. Can't resist checking this out. It's rather musty, rusty old garages. Someone's back garden. This rusty old cabinet here is still in use. It's part of the telephone exchange, I suspect. And here is this rather magnificent stone-faced viaduct, which is part of the Clifton Extension Railway. I'm going to follow this and try and see if we can get back on track to the brook again. Cranbrook Road is a long, straight road stretching way into the distance. There's a church there in the mist. I'm going to head up this way. This is basically the direction that the brook is following, there from the junction with Zetland Road. I do like the way they've converted this old electricity substation into a house. It's a really nice piece of 1900s architecture. It's the old church. This was likely the vicarage. If I'm not mistaken, the brook actually follows on the back of these houses here, so it's probably under this lawn here. Done a rather grand job with this house, haven't they? The old church hall's been converted. I'm just off Cranbrook Road, and see these manhole covers might indicate where the river's going. We're just going to follow up this alleyway around the back of the garages there. But the river is more or less flowing under our feet at this point, so let's go and have a look. Yeah, the Cutlers Brook is flowing more or less beneath our feet according to the maps, heading in a sort of north-westerly direction towards Henleys. Unfortunately, this area has been gated, but we're going to go up the road and get to the gate beyond there. There's some rather fine allotments on Cranbrook, which you wouldn't even know were here. Let's go and have a look and see if we can find some traces of the river. I think it's flowing more or less underneath where we are now. and have a quick look around. These two large iron steel pipes seem to suggest there's some kind of underground installation of some kind, but could it be the river? Or is it gas or water or something? This view here looking southwest sort of indicates the natural lie of the land, and it's possible the river's flowing up this road more or less under our feet. I'm going to have a quick explore around this allotment area, see if we can find any more clues, and then head north. Well, here we are on this rather damp and gloomy bank holiday morning. We found ourselves in these really amazing allotments up here off Brook Road. They really do put us to shame with all their flowers and produce. Well, thanks for coming with me this morning and our little exploration to find the source of the Cutlers Mill Brook. We found a few clues. I'm just going to head up north and see if we can find basically where it starts, which I think is just up towards Henleys somewhere, not very far from here. And apparently there, where the river is here, there's a large sort of underground storage tank which collects all the flood water and then distributes it more evenly when the rain goes down. Yeah, as we said, the Brook Road storm tank, which obviously collects all the water. See if we can hear any running water in there. Wow, seems pretty quiet. Let's see if we can just follow the course of the river northwards up through this little natural valley here with these beautiful allotments. We've learned a few facts about the Cutlers Mill Brook here. I'm just going to leave this rather beautiful allotment area in the misty murk and head north and just see if we can find that point where the river originates. Let's go. Let's look at this old garage. Obviously hasn't been painted since the time the house was built. See if there's an old car in there. Oh, it does dust. Cobwebs. Subway still humming away as it has been since the 1920s. You can see the installation's been here for quite a while, from about the period they built the houses in the 1930s. Just following this rather anonymous suburban street. The river's more or less underneath where we are. We're coming very close to the ground where it would have originated from springs. Almost by coincidence, we can hear running water. Quite a lot of it from this manhole cover. The tumble down old house that obviously hasn't been renovated since the time it was built. Obviously completely uninhabited now. It looks, according to the maps, it looks like the church is probably the nearest point to where the Cutlers Mill Brook originates. I don't think we're going to find any further clues, but I think we're just going to head east maybe if we've got time this morning. See if we can find the source of another little brook that fed into the Cutlers Mill Brook, where it joined at Zetland Road. So let's maybe have a look. It's all quiet in the pebble-dashed suburbs of North Bristol on this bank holiday morning. say we were lost in suburbia, but fortunately I do know my way around here, so that helps. Well, the character of the streets has changed a little bit. We're now back in more of an Edwardian villa style, away from the 1930s semi-detached pebble-dashed. We've ended up more or less right on track because we're heading straight towards the cricket ground, which is the source of another of our little rivers. This is quite a charmingly done-up house with the obligatory dark green door. Here we are, just heading towards the cricket ground. There's lighting towers in the distance. Found a friend. More or less right on top of the hill now, and the air's freshened up a bit. There's a bit of a breeze blowing. We're very close to the cricket ground. We're going to see if we can find evidence of that river. And here's the great cricketer, Dr. Grace. Could this be the source of the river? I don't think it is. I'm going to keep looking. And almost by magic, we have running water. As you can see from here, there's a slight downhill gradient, so this is where the water would flow. If it was going to flow from high ground. Let's go and have a look. More running water from this one as well. Here we are in this peaceful little park just off Gloucester Road. Now we think one of the little tributaries to the Cutlers Brook would have flowed down this little hill here in the general direction of Gloucester Road, so let's go and follow it down here. There's the flag flying in the wind there. Better get my old flag out too. This is where a little river tributary flows down the middle of this road here, down the hill. One of these little lanes off Gloucester Road, which I think has got the river flowing somewhere down the middle of it, around about here. But there doesn't seem to be any sign of it at all. The compensation we have found this rather old manhole cover. What looks like oak inlays inside it. And what's the letter A for? Let's look that up. Another underground installation here at the bottom of Somerville Road. Has this got anything to do with the river? Or is it just electricity? This is the old blacksmith's yard. As it probably has been for quite a while, I reckon. Or with it being a coaching route and everything. Unfortunately we're on foot today, so we're not cycling. It's on the old maps long before the houses were built, so they had to sort of build around the shape of this road, and it's got something to do with the river, I think, at the bottom of it. It's more or less where the river's flowing beneath our feet, where this house is. Whilst we're on Gloucester Road, I thought we'd just get a quick shot of this amazing pub and the way they've styled the brickwork in the windows. I'm going to have to have a quick look on the map and find out what this old building was. This old abandoned lift door must have been part of a warehouse somewhere just above us. Lift shaft going up there. Well, the two manhole covers the exact point where the river flows down the back of the houses there. They follow the almost exact line of the river here. There's the river flowing under there, under the cobblestones. Now this manhole cover here, I think marks the exact spot again where the river is flowing beneath our feet. Directly behind these houses here. It's followed all the way down across the road. Well, we end today's journey back more or less where we started, at the point where we think the Cutlers Brook were joined in that little tributary from the north by the cricket ground. Really hope you've enjoyed this exploration, and join me again soon for another episode. Thanks. Bye.